Hello there and welcome to another episode of Gotham Talk. We're into episode 7 of season 2 and this one's called Mommy's Little Monster. Right, so we open up this episode as expected with Penguin going to the warehouse where his mother has been kept. And as expected, Butch Gilzean is in on this with Galavan. Galavan kills Penguin's mum. I'm kind of glad they killed off Penguin's mother because she's always been a character to me that I understand the relevance of her in Penguin's life, in Oswald's life. Like even in the comic books, I know that she was quite like something in his history. But she was always just too kooky, too weird, too full on for me to truly like her. You know, there were a couple of moments during the first season where I got a laugh out of her maybe or whatever, but I just always found it to be quite jarring. So in that respect, I'm glad they've kind of dispensed with her now. But in the way that it's done, it feels, I don't know, a little bit lazy. Like, I don't get why Oswald turns up at this warehouse with just 3 men, you know, Butch and 2 other guys. This is his mother we're talking about. I would have seen him going there with a whole armada of people, you know, with the possibility that Galavan might have his own little army there. I don't buy for a second that Penguin would just take these 3 dudes. So yes, that kind of bothered me. And the other thing that bothered me, which will be a bit of an issue actually in this episode a few times, is the way that people, when it's convenient, become expert marksmen, and then when it's not convenient, they don't. Penguin isn't the fastest guy, you know, with that limp, he ain't running pretty fast anytime soon, and they're pretty close to him when, you know, he slashes, he takes this knife that's been used to kill his mum and he takes it out of his mum and slashes Galavan just across the neck. Nothing too serious. But Galavan's sister at this point just takes a few shots at Penguin. And the fact that she doesn't even land one when she's this close and Penguin's pretty much running straight, I find that a little bit hard to believe, especially given that later on in the episode we will see that Galavan's sister is indeed a pretty decent marksman. You know, she's up on the roof of his house picking people off and doing a pretty damn good job of it. Look, whatever, I get it, that happens in TV, but for whatever reason I noticed it quite a lot in this episode. Other than that, the scene is still played pretty well. You know, I like Robin Lord Taylor's performance in that. I think he commits to it. But moving on, where are we? In this episode, we get, for me, the most interesting part of it, actually, which is Nigma. So Nigma is, and this is a bit of a double-edged sword. Again, I mentioned this in a previous episode, a couple of episodes ago, which is this whole thing where Nigma's kind of seeing another version of himself, like his evil self, his true self or whatever, and he keeps arguing with them and he keeps on going a bit nuts with it. It makes me wonder where they could go with Two-Face. Again, I said that in a previous episode, but all this stuff with Nigma, it feels like this should be saved for Two-Face. Two-Face should be doing this, talking to himself like this at some point. You know, it's like I don't really see Nigma as the guy with a split personality, which is what this kind of looks like at the moment. But again, double-edged sword, like I say, because I don't like it because of that reason, but I do like it because of the way that it's played. Corey Michael Smith? Yes, Corey Michael Smith. I think that's his name. He's brilliant in this. Absolute shining light. You know, when he's playing off himself, he's playing against himself. Absolutely brilliant performance. Really loving this guy now. I think he's doing excellent work in this role. So we have this little kind of game that he's playing with himself. So the more clinical evil version of himself has hid Kristen Kringle's body and is now leaving Riddler-style clues for Edward to follow in order to find it. And that does make for some really rather humorous moments and tense moments. You're kind of hoping he doesn't get caught, which is a bit bizarre, you know. Again, I always find it bizarre when they can make you root for someone who actually needs locking up, needs catching. There's a moment when he finds Kristen Kringle's body, and Dr. Tompkins walks in. Why she wouldn't know that body shouldn't be there, I don't know, because that is essentially her workplace. But yeah, she doesn't know, and it does create this moment where you're like, oh, he's gonna get caught. So yeah, I liked all that stuff. That was really good, really funny, really tense, really well played. And then we've got this stuff with Bruce and Silver St. Cloud and Selina. And, you know, Selina comes to Bruce Wayne's home despite, you know, Alfred having slapped her a couple of episodes ago and telling her to stay away. She comes and kind of gets in the middle of Bruce and Silver St. Cloud. But Selina being Selina, she calls it as she sees it. She's, you know, this Silver basically gives her a bit of a mouthful in private, and then in the presence of Bruce, Selina's just like, dude, you need to let this girl go, big time. Obviously, Bruce ain't having any of that, chucks her out. But again, I like Cameron Bikendover's performance here. Not quite as sold on the girl who's playing Silver St. Cloud, but you know, she's pretty new so far. I find that a lot of the characters in this show, they take a bit of time to warm to. But given the fact that she is, right off the bat, a villain, someone that is kind of getting in the way of Selina being the woman that you'd like to be in that situation with Bruce rather than her, that instantly makes you not like her. So that could have a lot to do with it. But yeah, I like her in this. I like Selina's part in this. I like the little dig she gives to Alfred as well. She gives drops his line because he serves this food, and she kind of looks up after Silver St. Cloud's given this whole spiel about it, that to try and make herself sound like bourgeoisie or whatever. Selina's just like, yeah, this does give you a good slap in the face, doesn't it, Alfred? So that was pretty funny, and seeing Alfred's face after that was pretty funny. Penguin, because of his mum, sends Zsasz to take out Butch Gilzean, who's now started up his own little troupe. Again, this makes for a really funny moment in which Zsasz says, anybody who wants to leave now is free to do so. If you're not out within the next 10 seconds, we're coming in and we're going to kill you all. And literally all of Butch Gilzean's men just say, sorry, Butch, and just leave him on his own. I thought that was a hilarious moment. Gordon and Bullock come in at that point because they're after him as well. They're trying to track down Penguin because an order has been put out on Penguin to find him because Galavan has said that he's made another attempt on his life. Like I say, it's a lot's going on. So yeah, they question Butch, and it leads to another rather funny moment in which they have some pretty heavy firepower, which they fire out at Zsasz. And Zasz's response to that, again, like I say, is hilarious. Got probably the biggest laugh for me. Oh no, actually there's one more moment, but it got a big laugh for me in this episode, which is when they fire to completely decimate the place, and you don't see Zsasz, but you hear him, and he just says, I'll take that as a no then, and then they just leave. But yeah, the delivery on that was just hilarious. So Gordon learns from Butch that Penguin was hired on all those hits in the previous episodes by Galavan. So they go to see Galavan at this party, and that's when Penguin makes his final attack against Galavan. He goes all out to try and kill Galavan, and that's when I got my biggest laugh. Because, yeah, Penguin's plan, he storms Galavan's home with a bunch of lookalikes. Like, literally an army of people who look like him, and he gets them to all walk like him. They don't turn up in a big, in a car, speed into the place. They all come limping up the path. Galavan's sister takes one of them out thinking it's Penguin, and it's just, the whole thing is hilarious. And I'm not sure in a good way. I think I don't know, I think you are supposed to laugh, but really? That's your plan? That would Penguin be able to put that together in this time? Find all those lookalikes of himself? What did he do? Did he audition people? Did he put out open auditions for these guys? One, you have to be a goon, a gangster type who's willing to kill, but you've also got to be able to look like me a bit. It's just preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. But like I say, it got a huge laugh out of me. When it happened, I thought we'd just disappeared down the rabbit hole. But yeah, anyway, Gordon has told Galavan by the end of this episode that he knows what he's about, he knows he's behind everything, and he's coming for him. And that's kind of where we're left. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag, this one. There's a lot of good stuff in the entertainment department, like stuff that really makes me laugh. Some quite entertaining action beats, things like that. But yeah, just a few things that kind of bug me. The whole, people 1 minute being excellent sharpshooters, the next minute not. And just, yeah, Penguin's wacky plan. Despite that, I did still really like this episode. It entertained me from start to finish. Bullock was pretty funny in this. Zass was funny in this. And I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It may change on a second viewing, I don't know. But for now, 4 out of 5. But what about you? Have you seen this episode? And if so, what did you think about it? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, cracking.